Those who don't know me, my name is Francey Gavin.
And the mic's not working. My name is Francey Gavin. I've been a Christian 6 years. I'll take you back to the beginning. My father died when I was very young. I was 2 years of age when my father died. And I never grew up with a father. But I grew up in a very religious home. We were strong Catholics. And I believed growing up that my father was in a place called purgatory. So my mother used to say masses to get my father out of purgatory. We believed that we could pray him out of it, or try and earn him into heaven a bit quicker. So as I got a bit older, about 7 or 8, my mother married a countryman. I was in school for a while. I was about 11. And I remember I got a Bible in school. I kept asking questions about purgatory. I said, if I can just find this place, I'll try and get my daddy out and I'll get him into heaven a bit quicker. But eventually I couldn't find it, so I was very, very young and started to question my own religion. I never spoke to a Christian before. But I knew there was something wrong with my own religion. I told my mother about it, and she was very offended because I got a first cousin who was a priest in Ireland, and we were so wrapped up in religion at the time. So when I hit about 12, I thought that this man's not going to learn me very much, being a countryman, so I want to go with my own people. And I left, and I went to stay with my uncle. And my uncle was a very, very good man, good, honest man. He had a lot of other sons. And he done his best to rear me the best he could. But I suppose growing up, I was always missing something. I was always missing a relationship with my father. So I've become a bit troublesome for my uncle, and there's only so much I suppose one man can take. I considered him like a father figure, and the one I really ever had. And I got put going anyway. Caused so much trouble for him. And I was young, I didn't have nobody, I didn't have nothing. But I went to see my other cousins in Preston, and they were probably in the same boat as I was. Their fathers were dead or in jail. And we were young boys, 15s, growing up. And all we had was each other. And from that point on, I loved it in my family. This was where I felt I belonged for a long time. So I was very loyal to my family, and considered my family very loyal to me. And we had no one to tell us what to do. So we started taking drugs, we started going partying, we started doing all the things in the world. And you could be the nicest person in the world, and you've got plenty of friends everywhere. But when you're in that lifestyle, it's not long before you can turn into a horrible person. And I remember one time, I was getting locked up, probably on a regular basis. And the more I was getting locked up, I was asking the screw-ins at the prison, I said, can I have a Bible to read? I'm a strong Catholic, can I have a Bible? I thought I'd read out of board. And I kept reading the Bible, and the same things kept coming to mind. I remember walking to Bolton Church one night, I was 18 years old, and I heard Lolly Young preach the gospel, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. The gospel hit me, the Bible says you'll hear the truth, and the truth will set you free. I heard the truth that night, and I gave my life to the Lord, and I promised you that the burden was lifted from my shoulders. I stumbled away from God plenty of times, and the Lord has been gracious to bring me back. But I got married not long after that, and I always said this, if I do get married, I'd like to have some children early in marriage, because I'd like to have a relationship with them. The relationship I suppose I never had, I'd like to have with my children. But anyways, we got married and found out that we couldn't have children. The doctor said it was impossible, and it never happened. And I fell away from God. I went very, very bad at the time. I was in Sweden, and I flew back over to England to fight my wife's cousin. And while I was over here, we were going for an operation, me and my wife, and I went to Dartmouth Church in the meantime. And a man preached the gospel again. I knew I was so far from God, and I got convicted. The Lord convicted me in that church, and I didn't have no plans of going to church. I didn't have no plans of getting my life back on track. I had really different things in my mind. But I remember I cried like a child that night. I was on my knees in this church, and I said, Lord, I said, I know there's nothing impossible for you. I know that you made the world in 6 days. I said, surely you can give me a family. And 3 days later, I got a phone call from the doctor saying, Mr. Gavin said, you're 100% healed, you don't need no operation. And you give God all the glory. You've got 2 beautiful children now. And when my little boy was born, he had a hole in his heart. The piece of his heart was missing. It wasn't just like a normal murmur. And all his tubes were too thin, and the blood and oxygen couldn't get in and out. And he said, when he's going to get older, it's going to cause him problems. And I just kept giving to God. I prayed to God, and I put my faith in the Lord. The Bible says a prayer offered in faith will be heard. And I brought him, kept bringing him to the front, and the elders were anointing him with oil, and the church was praying for him. We brought him back to Great Ormond Hospital, and there wasn't a thing wrong with him. It's just that's the power of God, it's so real. And I don't try and talk people to the front. I don't try and tell you all the miracles that God can do for you if you become a Christian. The greatest miracle that God can ever do is salvation. And I know for a fact He saved me. I know I'm saved now, I know I'm going to heaven. And I know that in God, I found the Father that I was always looking for. I found the Father that I always needed. The one who the Bible says He'll never again leave us like orphans. I'll give Him all the glory for that.